high school, I was always different. My hair was longer. I like tucked in my shirts, and everybody thought that shit was whack, but I thought it was cool. No one really had my type of haircut, especially living in northern New York. There's not really, people with big ass hair. It was always, people used to pick fun at it because I was an art kid. I used to like do musicals and shit. I was Seaweed and Hairspray, which was, I thought it was cool. Everybody else thought it was whack. All my friends were like, why the fuck are you doing musicals? I'm like, this is kind of like, this is really what I want to do in life. They're just like, all right, you know what? We'll just support it. We'll let you do you. We'll let you do your thing. It was kind of weird for all the places that I lived in, for someone to be so musically inclined and be so comfortable with singing about their emotions. Because I guess now high school is all about, I guess the new cool thing is about not having emotions. Like everybody wants to be sad, like everybody wants to be blunt, straightforward. I'm not gonna open up, but ever since I was young, I've always been super comfortable expressing myself. Through my hair, through my clothes, through songs, all of that. I used to sing as long as I can remember. I used to sing in middle school. I used to get picked fun. Like, people called me freaking, what's his name? Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks. They used to call me Theodore because I was kind of chubby. Yeah, and I had like a high voice. I used to sing all the time. But when I moved to El Paso, that's when I kind of really started to know, like, I stand out. I'm so different from everybody else. Everybody kind of dressed the same. Like, it was just flatline. No one really wore anything different. No one was really making music in El Paso. So when I came into this new school and I'm like, yo, I'm a singer, everyone was like, what, you sing? You're not doing anything with it? So that kind of like motivated me to make music. I started making music. I started recording in El Paso. No one wore the stuff that I wore. I wore like pastel pink shirts and like light blues and like weird shoes, and everyone's like, yo, what is this? And then a year later, I see people rocking the same haircut as me, wearing like the same shit I used to wear back then. So I thought that was pretty dope going back. My confidence and my drive comes in from, like, I guess, my family. My mom has always raised me to just be an individual because she was one of the only people in our family who was a singer as well. My mom sings too. She kind of raised me and was like, you know what, like, in this family, we're all gonna be comfortable with our feelings. If you feel a certain way about something, you have to speak about that. Because if you don't speak about that, no one's gonna know. Your problem is just gonna stay there. You're gonna continue to have a problem. So it kind of came from my mom. My confidence also comes from my friend groups. Sometimes I'm like, damn, like, I don't know how I feel about this song. And then all my friends are like, nah, this shit's tight, bro. They're always hyping me up. We'll be in the studio, like, milli rocking and shit, like, dancing to a song that doesn't even need to be danced to. It was just... But also, I feel like my confidence comes from internal exception. I didn't start being confident until I believed that I could be confident. Until I told myself, you know what, like, who cares? Like, who gives a fuck what everybody else thinks about you? As long as you feel comfortable with all the shit that you're doing, like, as long as you look in the mirror and you're like, you know what, like, I'm the shit. That's all. That's really all that matters. People try to tell me that I wasn't gonna be a singer. People try to tell me that my song sucked. Like, people try to tell me that my voice was too different. And I was like, yeah, my voice is too different, but I fuck with it. You don't have to fuck with it as long as I fuck with it. You kind of have to use your differences as an advantage. The different ones always stick out. They're the leaders. If you're different, you're bound to lead. You're in the front of the pack. Everybody else is back there together. They can't cross each other because they're in the same lane. If you're in a different lane, then you're straight. High school is a shitty place, just to be honest. But if you kind of curve your own lane and find out where you're gonna go with it, then once you get out of high school, dude, it's skyrocketed. See, beginning of senior year, I didn't think I was gonna be a recording artist. End of senior year, I was a recording artist.
My situations I go through and making them into songs so people can, I want to listen to Caleb Rihanna because I'm feeling like this and I know that this song will make me feel better.
Maurice told me, he was like, you know what, man? His voice was really soft at that point. It was like, I've been watching you for years. We want you to write a little something for us. So that was a dream come true.
The thing about what's dope about Kendrick is that he speaks to everybody. You know, he speaks to the gangsters, he speaks to the backpackers, he speaks to the people in the club. He's speaking to everybody, and it's casually positive. It's just not obviously positive, a lot of it, but it's all positive.
A lot of people are like, you're a female traveling alone, weren't you scared? And I'm like, I was, but once you do it, it was the most scary but amazing and freeing thing I ever did.